People of YouTube, it is I, EmpLemon, and you're going to have to excuse this video for the lack of visual editing because I want to get this out quickly. I'm recording this on December 12th, 2018, during what should be a very momentous moment. I'm recording this as the 2018 Rewind is surpassing Justin Bieber's Baby music video as the YouTube video with the most dislikes on the website. Now you may think that the Rewind getting so many dislikes may have something to do with the Tank the Rewind movement that I started last year, but I'm not going to take credit for any of that, because doing so would be like taking credit for predicting a flood after a hurricane. The tremendous backlash surrounding the YouTube Rewind this year is indicative of a far more pressing problem. Whether you realize it or not, we are currently standing at the precipice of the next great YouTube war. It's a war that, for all intents and purposes, has already begun. And this isn't one of those petty little skirmishes involving YouTube drama and diss tracks and topically hating on one YouTuber for making a stupid mistake. This war extends far beyond that. This is a war about the culture of the internet. So allow me to explain to you guys the series of events that has led me to this conclusion. First and foremost, on December 11th, 2018, my good friend and fellow YouTuber Mumkey Jones had his two main YouTube channels terminated. Each channel, Mumkey Jones and Mumkey Jones 2, received 3 community guidelines strikes, all within a very short time period of each other. One of the strikes, the one that ultimately terminated Mumkey's main channel, was done so on a private video with 0 views. Meaning that this video in particular was not actually flagged by any viewer of Mumkey's videos, and rather it has been terminated by YouTube's own system. And based on this information, and the fact that so many of Mumkey's videos got terminated around the same time, I would say that it's very reasonable to infer that Mumkey's termination is entirely and solely YouTube's doing. Now keep in mind, these weren't new videos or anything. These videos had been up on Mumkey's channels for months. Some of them were up for over a year. And it just so happens that coincidentally, they all get taken down at the same time and in enough of a volume to terminate Mumkey's channel. Mumkey has been attempting to appeal the decision. He's been having a back and forth with the Team YouTube Twitter account, and so far it appears that YouTube has no intentions of restoring Mumkey's channel. Now at this point, a lot of you who are familiar with Mumkey's content may be thinking, well, Mumkey is a pretty edgy YouTuber, so perhaps it's possible that the videos that got taken down did actually violate YouTube's guidelines. But the problem with that is it's not true. The videos that got taken down off of Mumkey's channel were all Elliot Rodger related, and each of them got taken down for reasons of either hate speech or promoting violence. So looking at YouTube's reasoning here, it's first of all very obvious that these videos do not have anything to do with violating YouTube's hate speech policy. For anyone familiar with Mumkey's recurring series on Elliot Rodger, it is painfully obvious that any possible interpretation of hate in those videos is directed towards Elliot Rodger. Anyone who watches Mumkey's videos on Elliot Rodger could clearly see that they have nothing to do with hate or discrimination towards any marginalized group of people. It's totally obvious that they don't. The other reason listed for some of the takedowns were that they were promoting violent and harmful acts. But once again, you don't have to be a genius to watch these videos and realize that Mumkey Jones is not at all condoning the actions of Elliot Rodger. The videos are presented in a documentary format, and pretty much the only humor in them is done at the expense of Elliot. Once again, it's painfully obvious to anyone watching these videos that Mumkey Jones is not promoting the act of mass shootings. As a matter of fact, several videos in the series actively bring up solutions to how mass shootings like the one perpetrated by Elliot Rodger could have been prevented. Another important detail that I'd like to add about this case is that the privatized video on Mumkey's channel that ultimately led to his third strike was a short 2-minute long skit of Mumkey basically screwing around with an Elliot Rodger body pillow. And as a matter of fact, an identical version of that video had been uploaded to Rusty Cage's channel, considering those two collaborated on the project. So just to be clear here, Mumkey Jones and Rusty Cage both uploaded two versions of the same video. Mumkey's video got taken down, that led to his channel termination, and the video on Rusty Cage's channel was completely unaffected. When Mumkey Jones then linked the Rusty Cage video to Team YouTube, showing them that the video had been wrongfully taken down on Mumkey's channel, YouTube decided to double down on their decision and take down the Rusty Cage version of the video and give his channel a strike. YouTube's reasoning for this is that the video promotes violent acts, even though there is zero violent or graphic content in the video. The only possible interpretation that could even slightly lead to this conclusion is the inclusion of Elliot Rodger. And based on the fact that pretty much every video that was terminated from Mumkey's two channels were Elliot Rodger related, it becomes clear that YouTube has some vendetta against Elliot Rodger content. Mumkey's termination and Rusty getting a strike are almost certainly the result of YouTube's internal people pulling some strings. Because if YouTube actually cared about taking down violent and graphic content, then they should probably explain to me how a plane crash compilation showing the actual violent deaths of hundreds of people is allowed to stay up on the platform. And for most of its lifetime, by the way, it was running ads on the platform. It's currently at over 25 million views, and YouTube has done nothing about it. Maybe YouTube should explain how they've allowed an entire subgenre of women pretending to have miscarriages and have done nothing to prevent this violent and graphic content. Just a reminder to you guys that miscarriage pranks and plane crash compilations are A-OK according to YouTube, but Mumkey Jones dancing around in his backyard with an Elliot Rodger body pillow is somehow too violent and graphic to stay up on the platform. When you consider all of these factors, it becomes painfully obvious that this isn't about some YouTuber uploading videos of a school shooter and getting banned. It has become painfully clear that people like Mumkey Jones and people like Rusty Cage are not welcome on the platform according to YouTube. It doesn't matter how many fans love and support their content and watch ads and generate revenue for YouTube. It doesn't matter how content like this was thriving on the platform just 2 years ago. It has become painfully clear that YouTube views alternative, edgy channels like Mumkey Jones as a threat to their image, and they want channels like that removed, regardless of how many individuals and fans get ripped off.
I trust there are no objections?
That specific video violated our policies on harmful/dangerous content.
And with that being said, I think the real question on everyone's mind is why would YouTube, a company that thrived on edgy and alternative content during the entire time it was growing as a platform, why would a company like that suddenly care so much about expunging the site of the entire genre of content that popularized them? And let me tell you folks, the answer to this is the very thing I brought up at the beginning of this show. We are currently embroiled in a culture war, and YouTube has decided that Mumkey Jones is on the wrong side of it. Allow me to explain this further. In the first week of December 2018, PewDiePie launched a campaign that raised over $200,000 for children in India. $200,000 plus raised and donated to charity instantly. Of course, all of you probably know that PewDiePie is currently in the middle of the Great Subscriber Battle versus T-Series. And this is an event that's one of the most incredible, awe-inspiring things I've ever seen as a YouTuber. It's an event that's unifying the entire YouTube community behind PewDiePie, the channel that everyone who makes YouTube content loves and respects. And as some of you know, this whole movement has caused PewDiePie to gain a ton of subscribers over the past couple of months. So PewDiePie, like the charitable guy he is, decides to share this newfound subscriber boost with small YouTubers who he felt deserved it out of the goodness of his heart. So keep these in mind. 2 events. PewDiePie raises and donates $200,000 to Indian kids. PewDiePie, to show his gratitude to the YouTube community rallying around him, decides to shout out dozens of small YouTube channels. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ask me, these sound like the actions of a pretty good dude. So based on these two events, how do you think the online news media reacted to it? Well, shit, they're calling him a fucking racist and a fucking Nazi just like they've been doing for the past year and a half. Publication after publication reporting that PewDiePie shouts out a racist Nazi channel. Oh, what's this? PewDiePie donates $200K to kids in India? Crickets. Nothing. You don't hear a peep about it from the fucking blue checkmark so-called online journalists. Oh, but PewDiePie shouts out a channel that sometimes makes edgy jokes? Oh, sound the Nazi alarm. We found ourselves another Nazi. I can't believe it, you guys. PewDiePie wants minorities to die in a hellfire. And it's not just one or two publications reporting on this. It's all the online publications, all going after PewDiePie, having him and the word racist in the same headline, just a week after PewDiePie raised $200,000 for kids in India. And then you got blue checkmark cocksuckers like Joe Bernstein trying to piggyback off the controversy and producing blatantly deceptive posts, quote-unquote, reporting about the PewDiePie controversy.
Hey man, I really appreciate your content. You've gotten me through some tough times, and I respect the
And then, when it gets called out on his obvious deceptive reporting, he just calls all of his opponents triggered. Well, isn't that nice, Joe?
I want to be totally straightforward with you. You will never, in a million years, get a job at a publication as prestigious as the New York Times. That little pipe dream is never gonna happen. You will be blogging and tweeting until you are dead, and nobody will care. Nobody will ever read anything you wrote and say to themselves, "Man, this is important! I need to know more about this!" Nobody's ever going to read a page that you wrote and say to themselves, "Damn, I'm glad I read that." It's just fucking popcorn. You write the mental equivalent of popcorn.
White male! I agree with that.
And this is the thing I want to talk about most in this video. What happened to Mumkey and what happened to PewDiePie this week are both aspects of the same thing. Both PewDiePie and Mumkey were subject to coordinated attacks by cultural opponents. As each day goes on the internet, it's becoming painfully obvious that the internet has now separated into two groups. There's people that get it, there's people that understand internet culture, and then there's everybody else. There's the deadbeat generation of millennials who know how to use the internet but don't actually get the internet. You have this group of people who thinks that the internet is nothing more than Netflix and cat pictures. And hey, guess what? These people are running all the online news publications and they're running YouTube. You want to know why YouTube Rewind this year was an unmitigated disaster and resembled a pile of steaming horse droppings? Well, it would seem that the people in charge of it don't actually understand the culture of YouTube, and they're just a little bit out of touch with what YouTubers actually want. And that brings me to the ultimate point of this video. YouTube and the news media have teamed up to attack and deplatform their cultural opponents in an attempt to engineer and transform the culture of YouTube into something they deem fit. I saw this coming back in July when YouTube teamed up with the legacy news media. It shouldn't be much of a coincidence that after that point, whenever something bad happens on YouTube, it's never YouTube's fault. It's always the evil racist YouTuber who's the problem and needs to be deplatformed and have their channel terminated and get called anti-Semitic by every publication under the sun.
And by every time you retweet one of these things or every time you promote this idea, you are promoting ignorance, racism, genocide, anti-Semitism. These are all things that you are putting forward when you are doing anything that promotes PewDiePie. So be careful about this. If something were to happen, if PewDiePie were to be sued for this, you could be complicit. If you retweet it, they can make you pay a fine as well, because you have officially published anti-Semitic things. So if you are republishing this stuff, you could get in trouble for it.
This is a message to everyone listening to this right now. We are at war. The people in charge of these publications and this website have retracted themselves into an ideological bubble, and they are attempting to expunge this website of any influential person who doesn't fit into their utopian vision of the site. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you will, but when you witness two attacks, one right after the other, so coordinated and so absolutely wrong and unfair in their approach, something is going on. The YouTubers have rebelled against this year's YouTube Rewind. Literally, as I was recording this, it has become the most disliked video of all time. The YouTube community has completely rejected YouTube's sanitized and PC version of the YouTube Rewind. And frankly, we're not going to stand for it anymore. We, as a YouTube community, need to unite against this threat. I don't want to hear it if you don't like Mumkey. I don't want to hear it if you don't like PewDiePie. If you in any way support the termination of Mumkey or the smear campaign against PewDiePie, I got news for you, buddy. You're next. They're going to be coming for all of us next. And we need to stick by each other and have each other's backs to make sure that whoever YouTube and the news media decide to target next as a part of their agenda isn't going to be forced to disappear. It's time to put aside our differences. It's time to forgive the Logan Pauls, forgive the Rice Gums, and defend ourselves from this much greater problem.
It could be you. It could be me. It could even be... Oh!
That specific video violated our policies on harmful/dangerous content.
So this was supposed to be the part of the video where I tell you guys to subscribe to Mumkey's new channel. But unfortunately, YouTube saved me the trouble by banning all of Mumkey's remaining accounts. At this stage, Mumkey appears to be completely banned from YouTube. The fact that YouTube has doubled down so hard on banning a channel that is so clearly innocent from what they're accusing him is absolutely outrageous. And I cannot reiterate enough how horrific of a precedent this sets for YouTube. YouTube is basically saying that they can go behind the scenes and delete any channel they want with impunity and completely circumvent any system of due process. Since Mumkey's deletion, other decently sized YouTube channels have also been deleted for seemingly no reason. In all 8 years of making videos on this platform, I have never seen a situation as potentially dangerous as this one. Where at least in the past, it seems like you had to make a ton of people mad to false flag your videos and take down your channel. Now all it takes is one single person at YouTube who doesn't like you to completely destroy your YouTube career. Now in the time since Mumkey's ban, a few people like Tim Pool have come out to report on the story, but other than that, there's been a shocking lack of concern over what's happened here. I really don't think YouTubers are treating this as seriously as they can. And like I said earlier, it shouldn't even matter if you don't like Mumkey or if you thought his termination was justified. The fact that we are simply giving YouTube the power to terminate any channel they want with no due process is terrifying. And everyone out there who even cares a smidge about this website should be completely up in arms about Mumkey's takedown. This isn't an issue just affecting Mumkey. This is an issue affecting every single person on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you think you're following the rules. Mumkey thought he was following the rules. Many of his videos that got taken down were so-called manually approved as ad-friendly. Your channel termination could come from out of nowhere with no warning for no reason, and there will be nothing you can do about it. It's clear that YouTube isn't doing this because they actually want to enforce guidelines. Last time I checked, the plane crash compilation is still online even after YouTube claimed to remove 58 million infringing videos. This is about the unfair targeting of individual people. This is a threat to potentially every creator on the platform, and it must not be ignored. In a just world, Mumkey would have all of his channels restored. But based on some of the slimy stuff this website has perpetrated in the past year, I'm not sure that's going to happen. So in the meantime, make sure you follow Mumkey on Twitch because YouTube is too authoritarian to let him stay here. I really hope they don't ban me for even advertising anything on Twitch because they've done it before. Also, if you want to have a look at the last place on YouTube where Mumkey isn't banned, you can check out the State of the YouTube podcast, also featuring me and Rusty Cage. The only reason this channel hasn't also been banned is because Mumkey doesn't own it. But hey, I wouldn't put it past YouTube to unfairly take this down too. Fuck this website. And now, please enjoy some patron-sponsored content.
Hey guys, this is Babalu Productions. I'm a small YouTuber that makes cartoons. I do random skits and things like that. If you guys could check out my channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Or you can go to Pornhub instead. I mean, if you do, I don't blame you. Midget porn is a lot more appealing than my videos will ever be because they look like they were made in PowerPoint. But why not both? The link to my newest video called If EA Made a Dildo featuring the Ackman is down below. Check it out if you've got time. And finally, thank you to EmpLemon for giving me a chance to be here.